Good morning to each and every one of you, and welcome to beautiful, beautiful Barbados. Different weather conditions this morning, but absolutely beautiful. As you can see, we're in a sort of like a windy area. I know the winds are going to be up this morning, but I want to bring us back here. You know, if at first one doesn't succeed, you should try again. And that's what we're basically doing this morning. Morning to each and every one of you. I'd like to start serenity prayer before we go any further. Those who would like to join us, please do so. All others will be back to you in a couple of moments' time. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Your will, not ours, be done. Amen. Well, I have everything locked down here with boulders and rocks and everything else to make sure that nothing blew away this morning. Have all these switches on to the gimbal, so just give me a couple of seconds to sort it all out, and I'll be with you, of course. Good morning to each and every one of you all again, and welcome to Silver Sands, former Silver Sands Resort. This is up on the southeast section of the island. Absolutely beautiful area. This was my home from the mid-80s, or I said no, early 80s until the mid-90s, before when the resort closed down. When it closed down, I then decided to move on to Sandy Beach and made that my home. But here used to be my home, but Sandy Beach was always my Sunday lime at Crystal Waters. That was always the standard norm. It is a beautiful beach break here. When I first started to surf here, you can see a couple of little waves give me an indication of how nice they are out here. When I first started to surf here, back in the 80s, early 80s, there were guys like the St. John's and the Hunts and all those that you see up here surfing. This place was notorious for breaking surfboards. This would break a surfboard or surfboards every day when it was breaking. You see an incredible surf break. Come through, my friend. How are you going? Good morning to you. You see an incredible surf spot at one time. Now, when he surfs, the best time is when there's no sand on the inside section here. So you see there's some sand that's built on the inside. But up here was incredible. Many people have come here and have lost their boards, and many people have come here and made themselves into amazing surfers. That's me. I'm one of those. Oh yes, this is where I learned to train myself to become a world competition person, a person who could carry away gold medals. I know we only had the surfing at the Olympics this year or last year, but they haven't started bodyboarding yet because I'm waiting to carry away that medal. I'm not really in training right now, but I don't need much training because I'm one of those kind of people that's a master. You know it is, no matter what the conditions are. Good morning to each and every one of you. I have all my gear on this morning. I got my rain gear. I got my glasses, which are completely fogged up because the sea spray out here. Out here is different to anywhere else on the south of the island. Out here it gets blasted by sea spray morning, noon and night, no matter what the conditions are. Even if there's light wind, you can smell it. This morning we are having a stench of Sargassum, which is pretty heavy up here. Sargassum season is definitely back in. I was checking back some videos this morning, and from later in July, later June into early July is when it really starts to get really heavy from what I saw. So I'm hoping that is not the case this year. I'm hoping it will bypass the island and not hit the other islands either. Somehow go between them all and just not kill everybody with the beaches. You know, let's put all the beaches under thunder again this year. It is a beautiful morning. I don't think this resolution can really pick up how beautiful that sky is. The little freckles of clouds with all different kinds of bands of glows coming through. Absolutely beautiful this morning. Now today, we have done here before, but today we're here for a couple of reasons. One is that we failed last time we were up here with some tech issues. So I hope I don't have any. I haven't received any phone calls yet, so I guess we're running well. And the other is that I want to carry you a little more into the resort itself. Talk a little bit more about the history, because any of you that are on board here, that remember here in the early 80s, late 70s, early 80s and into the 90s, will know the kind of amazing place this used to be. It is so strange that the hotel on or the two hotels on our southeastern tips, which will be Silver Rock and Silver Sands, are both closed, along with the one on the northern tip of the island, which is the North Point Beach Resort, which is also closed. All of them are in terrible disrepair right now. Hopefully somebody will take over these here one of these days and bring them back, because this place here didn't only serve all of the visitors to the island, but it also served all of the locals who used to do staycations here. Anytime you had a bank holiday, All the locals will come up here and rent out these rooms in this section here especially, and enjoy their weekends up here. So I hope it will return again. I don't know if it'll ever get back to its former way, but this place used to be cranking with windsurfing. Windsurfing not as popular as it used to be before. I don't know if it's just people have moved to other islands or different locations, but it's not as popular as it used to be at one time here. At one time this place would have been rampant even in summer. You would have found a lot of people up here at this resort as well. The outer reef of Bowbells, we've talked about that before. This runs from way up. They're different reefs, but it runs from all around the east of the island. Straight around you will get big swells on these here when there are hurricanes that come through. I remember seeing here, was the norm for here to be really big surf. And surf way outside of where it's breaking right there close to the shoreline. As you can see now, much better conditions. It used to be lovely. They had their own table tennis table here as well. All up here is outfitted with amazing umbrellas and little like thatch hut roofs, shaded areas for people to enjoy. It used to be absolutely spectacular. Now we're going to walk through here this morning. I actually went through already, so I made sure that all the road was clear and everything seemed to be workable. We got a couple of obstacles, but you know us already. We are adventurous. We have on beach shoes today, so we can do anything. Beautiful resort. This was the original main structure of the resort. You can't see it's behind these. Of course, it would have to block us. What else could block us but sea grapes? Yeah, let's go on a little further and let's talk about them another time. I'll show you a little bit more of the original structured area. This wood out here is a little bit rotten in some areas. Some of them are a little bit lifted and stuff, a little bit loose, so we're going to take our time going over them. One of the features up here that I used to love up here for were the jacuzzis. They had 2 jacuzzis just here in the deck itself. It was a beautiful setting. I really can't tell you what this was like and explain it in true words, because to be honest with you, you had to experience what up here was like. Up here was incredible. Without a doubt, to me, one of the best resorts in the island at that time. Just in front of us, this steeple style building here, that was where the main restaurant used to be. And we can barely get a glimpse of the structure way over there above the grape trees, etc. That's being blocked by them, of course. That is the original structure that was over there. They then had these sections over here, and they've expanded onto that with the beach. When I first started to surf here, these buildings were not here. This was all a grass pasture. We used to drive down here and we used to camp out on the pasture all day long, spend the entire day here. Once again, surfing crew, I'll call the names, Ashley, Trot and Kevin Branker. They're the guys that I learned to surf with in this area. They're the guys that used to roll all the time with me. And then after that there is when I started meeting up with the Silver Sands posse and introducing a lot of the guys to boogie boarding and stuff. I used to come here, this is no joke, 7 days a week. I lived about 15 minutes drive from here. Whether I was at work or not, I would be here in the afternoon or here on a weekend for sure. 7 days a week you would have found me here with all the guys playing beach volleyball, etc. Those days are amazing days and memories that I will never forget. Those days are what made me who I am. Well, partially. Okay, this pool here was a kids' pool. This is a section used to have a lot of not beach volleyball, but water volleyball court was in this section here, along with children swimming. And then we had a bridge that went over this section here into the adult pool, which is obviously a much deeper pool. There is a barrier in between them, so the kids were safe. They couldn't get from one to the other, so you could pretty much just watch your child in this section here, and it was relatively good and safe. Lots of little red crabs all over this morning, all of them running all over us, as you can appreciate. Very abandoned resort. Ooh, we need to put some oil or something in this water. I can see that for sure. If not, we have some mosquitoes. All right, the original reception, or the second reception, because the original reception was over by the original building. However, this was the second section was put on. This is where their main reception was, and the manager's office, etc., etc. So you used to come in and drive to the back of here, sign in or whatever, and then go off to your rooms. As I said before, this was the main formal dining room area. If Mr. Impact is on board, I remember Mr. Impact playing here as a young fella. Well, I was a young fella too, but he was also a young fella. I remember him playing here quite often. I think it was Friday nights, if I remember correctly. Managers run punch parties and stuff was up here as well. Very, very popular with all of us that used to hang on the beach, of course. Lovely conditions. Now, this was a small restaurant. This also was similar to the other one, but it was not a formal one. This was more of a casual restaurant. You used to come in here. This is where Mr. Impact used to play as well. bar was here, Sunken bar, as you can see, and they used to have all types of real casual seating in this general area. I can see some heartstrings getting pulled here. I'm hearing all the family history and people that work here, people that used to go to Sticky Wicket just around the corner, or just up the hill I should say. Lots of different stories and lots of memories for a lot of people. So I hope you're enjoying this walk back down memory lane today. Now before none of these bushes were here whatsoever, we had a beach volleyball court we had set up just directly here in front of the section. All here used to be a real grandstand. You know what I mean? I don't like to show off. I never used to play beach volleyball too often. I used to play sometimes, but the guys up here, man, they would knock me down for sure, without a doubt. Had some incredible players that came out of Silver Sands. This beautiful, beautiful area now. This is pretty much where the resort stopped in the earlier stages. When I say that, the property was above, but there were no structures beyond here really. However, I'm going to show you what it was developed in just before it closed. And I say just, maybe 6 or 8 years before it actually closed. A whole section above was added on, which you will see. But this is where the resort pretty much ended. And then when windsurfing really took off, they developed the above section because they just were overflowing all the time in summer, in winter, etc. Used to have here was used really often, especially with tech flights and stuff, as it was so closely located to the airport. Just beautiful though. I mean, if you could have been here, I wish I had photos. In those days I didn't really take photos. I was more taking photos with my eyes and keeping them in my brain as a memory card. But nowadays, as I have no brain, I have to make sure and take photos and keep them on a zip drive or something. So, as windsurfing got bigger and bigger, this whole place expanded to accommodate it. They put in this boardwalk that ran from the restaurant area, the casual restaurant area, all along the beachfront top section, right up to their windsurf shop that they actually built to accommodate the surge of windsurfing demands here. Walking a bit into the sun this morning, a little unexpected to see this bright sun, but don't mind, it is absolutely beautiful. This is the last part that was added to Silver Sands. This was sort of like a high-end section, really, really lovely, and this is just added, as I said, maybe, I don't know, maybe time drifts, huh? So maybe about 8 years before they closed, that section was added. The closure of this resort came as an absolute shock, because this place used to have people, as I said, year round. Maybe not full in summer, but year round. I do not know what happened to this location, but this place used to be rammed with people, and in season you couldn't get a room here. No way. This place was just too full. Actually, all of the homes in this general area of Silver Sands had Airbnb properties that were built onto them, because the surge, as I said, of the windsurfers and water sports enthusiasts up here just exploded. So many of the homes in the surrounding area had had built on apartments and accommodations so they could rent them out. Up here was a hive of activity. There were people all over the beach, windsurfers between here and the reef continuously. Absolutely beautiful. As you can see, Sargassum is in on this section of the island right now. Don't worry about that. We know it's a season. It's just like seasons anywhere in the world. Ours, we have a Sargassum season. I bet you don't have that though. Just beautiful. I haven't walked this wooden section for a little while now. So I know it definitely drops off and sort of like comes to an end here. But I just want to really walk through what it used to be like before the erosion and stuff up here as well too, because that has played a huge factor. This boardwalk used to continue right along here. As you can see, the remnants of it there. Right along this section here, which was high elevations of sand. All here was a big sand dune that used to go right up to the windsurfing shop in the distance there. We will go to that in a second, because that's the direction we're going in. But all here was massive sand dune. So although the beach is pretty much the same size as it used to be, the actual sand dunes that used to be amassed here have gone. So they're being pulled down sort of like onto the areas that have been sucked away before. I'm going to continue our walk up now. We're not going to worry go down the beach because as you will see, it is just a mat of gold that we'll be walking on this morning. So we're just going to continue along this footpath here and make our way out to the end. It's just beautiful up here though. If you want to take do a little exploring without having to go too far out, this is a nice area to come and walk around. You have done the section by Rescue Beach. We've been over there last week. We were there. We had a couple of issues, but when I say issues, technical issues. But up here is just amazing. You don't have to go over on the East Coast to find something that looks completely different. You can just take a trip up here. Anyone that wait, look who is back. Oh my goodness gracious me. Well, we have not seen him for a long time, so you know he's all excited. Yeah, they all see you. Okay, you relax. I'm going to give him a break today because he hasn't been exposed for a long time. So, oh, you're going in that direction? All right, let's go then. Come, let's go. So these accommodations here, as I said, were the higher end. These were absolutely beautiful and always full. I keep saying that, always full. I don't know what happened. This is a very strange one, but what I do know is that I wish you would bring it back because up here was amazing and it offered something that nowhere else on this section or the island offered. Quite extraordinary at one time. No, I haven't been through here this morning. I went through the other section. I came on the beach, but we are not going to go down the beach right now. We're going to do some stepping and skipping and jumping, and we're going to work our way over. All right, now this repair again. This was an amazing windsurfing location. Lockers, storage for boards, storage for all your equipment you can imagine. And Brooker, if you're on this morning, my brother, I remember you as well from up here, and all the other guys that were up here as well. Brian, etc. Brian that moved above. Brian, all those used to be down here at one time. Just take a little look down the beach before we start to make our way inland a little more. Just give you an idea of what it looks like. Just put on your Sargassum filters and see this white sand that's up here. And have a look at this beautiful, beautiful beach. Now all these trees, everything around here just seems to be dropping. This was a beautiful wooden deck here at one time. People used to come here and hang out, as I said before. All the windsurfers, etc. Quite beautiful though. You can see the potential for this beach without the Sargassum on it. Hold on one second. Click, click. Sargassum filters on. Look at this beautiful white sand. Absolutely spectacular. Well, I tried that myself. That was good. All right, we're going to make a little track a little further on because I want to show you not only this beach, but I want to show you another beach as well that you could also come to and hang out if you want to do something very different away from the crowds and stuff. This is just one of the beaches that you can do so on. There are no facilities in the immediate area, so if you're coming here to Silver Sands, you're gonna have to bring everything with you. Everything. No facilities around Silver Sands itself. I will show you some in a short walk from here, and I will show you that you can get to some if you want some. But this other beach as well is a great place. Very wind blown though, just like Silver Sands. But Silver Sands is in sort of like a little bit of a cove, so it's not impacted with the winds as much as it will be up Silver Rock where we're heading now. This was a massive property. I mean huge. And I said, I don't know what happened here. Someone would have to let me know. I've always asked people that I thought would have been able to answer. No one, they just said, look, it just closed. That's it, story done. So I guess I have to take it at that. Just a beautiful, beautiful area. You can hear the peace and quiet. I'll keep quiet for a minute. I'll try. Here we go. I almost said to you all, listen to the sound through the casuarina trees, but all the tops of these are being taken off. Casuarina trees have been falling quite a few places on the island and breaking. I don't know what exactly it's related to. I don't know if it's a lack of rain or something, but a lot of places are now taking off the tops of the casuarina trees in the Henry Spring because they're tending to snap all over, and they obviously are a safety issue. Seen quite a few of these. Seen one fall actually on a car in Accra a few years back. And I've seen quite a few down in the drill hall that have been coming down recently as well. Actually, the big long branches on them, not the main structure. And then you have found a few that have been falling as well. Now, prior to COVID, up here was a lovely children's park. It has just gone down. I mean, it's completely in disrepair now. I'm going to walk you around a little bit more in the other direction here. We're going to go back there. I just want to show you all the homes around here that had Airbnb in them. So you can appreciate how busy this area used to be. You would have seen lines of windsurfers walking around here, especially going on in the morning if the winds were right, because we're staying in all the accommodations around here. So majority of these buildings over here had sections that were added onto them to accommodate for the influx of visitors to the island. So majority of these here had Airbnb properties. None of them really are in existence right now. Some of them still do rent, but they're really not that popular at the moment. It's beautiful though. You have to sort of like let your imagination run a little bit here. Just like if you were over at North Point Beach Resort, you know, you can understand how beautiful it was. And I guess by now you can hear a little bit in my voice. It does depress me a little bit when I come up here. I know it is as it's supposed to be. However, the memories that I've had here are really hard to fathom what it looks like now, knowing what it should be like, because up here should be thriving. It's a beautiful park facility up here. Well, Children's Park needs some work on it for sure. But up here you can find cricket, soccer, lots of activities on the field just over here as well. This is a big thing up here is football in Silver Sands area. And just behind the blinding sunlight there, if you go in that direction, I'll take you off the sun for a minute. I'll show you the facilities in a second. But this area that we're walking right now, say about, let me guess, approximately 10 to 15 years ago, we wouldn't have had to walk through here. We would walk in front of this property on a wide path that used to run around there on top of boulders, yes, but on a very wide path where you could actually take all your windsurfing equipment and walk around in front of this building. Now that is all gone. The erosion has eaten away all the sands and stuff, and the rocks that were dropped there have actually been pulled down as well. So I'll show you a little bit more about that as we go. This facility here, everything you can want: showers, washrooms, Wi-Fi, everything you could possibly want right here. So if you want to come up here, and benches all over the place. You know, so if you want to come up here and hang out for the day or whatever, you can do so. All the facilities, the Wi-Fi up here is strong. You can't get it on the beach, but you can certainly get it in the park area by the bandstand, etc. So this is another little drive-up spot. A lot of windsurfers use this here, kiteboarders, etc. Years gone by, this was very, very popular because it's a lot larger up here. But the sand dunes I mentioned, just down at Silver Sands, all these dunes have shifted and gone down now. Show you that in a second as well. Got some litter around the place. Now all these trees here are falling. All the casuarina trees. This entire ridge was full of casuarina trees, lined the entire way with large casuarina trees. Not little ones that you're seeing now, large casuarina trees all along this entire cliff area. I don't know what the signal is like down here on the beach, so I'm not going to actually descend down there because I don't want to lose us behind the banking. What I can tell you is that you see the stumps over there. That is where there were casuarina trees. You can see the difference in color there as well, like more yellowy where there's marl. That was a big pathway that was probably about 12 feet wide from the fence out by about 12 feet. You used to walk right around. So you can see all of the erosion that's gone on there. So it's not just the beaches that we like to talk about a lot. It's all over the island has been impacted. This area has been impacted heavily because this is so much property that has been lost here. Many sand dunes over the years. This section here where you're seeing a sand dune, bring that out by about another 20 feet or so, and that's what used to be a dune. Likewise, where we're standing right now, directly in front of where we are, I would say another 10 to 12 feet out was sand dune. Thick, tall sand dune, as you're seeing it right here where we're standing, way out there. So this entire area has just been eroded out, and the sand dunes that were here, they have gone. They've just shifted completely down. This tree was up the last time we were here. I don't know if you remember it, but I certainly do. I've driven out here actually a couple of times over the last 2 weeks as well. All this here is gone. Even the bench, the picnic bench that I sat on maybe a couple of months ago, gone. So you'll see how bad this has been. Now all of the sea that has been impacting us over the March and April time with the very high spring tides and the very big surf, consistent surf, has done a lot of this damage. But this damage has been happening over the years because all of this root structure here was under sand. You used to come out here and have massive dunes all along the section here. So all here would have been sand. I would say maybe about 20 feet, 20, 25 feet out from where we are presently standing was all sand dunes. So it has really been suffering, as you can see. All of this area, man, I am completely blown away. I know if my angel is on board, she must be freaking out, because I know when she first came here, this is one of the spots they brought her. Places like this, and like many of the other former, I would say, prime resorts, the island that are no longer there and just disrepair at the moment, are sort of like out of the eye's way, and they new have sprung up and have replaced it, and people sort of like forget these areas. But those of us, including myself of course, who remember what these places used to be like, will understand the value that these places have held for many of us through our lives. And they still do hold a lot of value, because up here is a very popular picnic spot. But as you can see, all the shade trees are going down, unfortunately. Oh, I like this sign. Here we go. I love this sign. I don't have to say nothing at all. The sign says it all for me. There you go. It's nice when I can stay politically correct and not saying anything wrong. I cannot believe, I'm still just completely in awe up here. Just the erosion and that I'm seeing up here. I just cannot believe how this is. I mean, I have seen it over the time, but I haven't been up here maybe since 2 months ago in this section, maybe 2.5 months ago. And the amount of stuff that has gone from up here since I was here last time is unbelievable. No exaggeration. Let us picture this here between where we're standing and the ocean. Let's go out about, I would say, close to halfway out, and that is where the sand dunes used to be. Big sand dunes. Now, I'm not talking about straight down at that stage again, because of course they would have gone off at an angle, so it wouldn't have been high like this here right out to where I'm talking about, but that's where the sand dunes would have gone out to. Absolutely serious erosion going on out here for sure. Well, I have to say, it gives us, nature gives us, and then it takes it back. This is definitely a case of taking it back. So we have to look at the positives though. We look at the sad parts here. I see a lot of people saying it's sad and stuff. The positives are that there are many places that have sprung up that have taken your attention from places like this completely. So that would mean that the island is just, it's just like planting flowers, you know. They die in one spot and they spring up in another. The beauty of the island is island wide, so it doesn't, you know, when you come to areas like this, of course you miss what it used to be like, but it is so beautiful in this island. Absolutely beautiful and stunning. Now, as you would know, I don't tell you things I don't show you. All right, this is originally the washrooms that were up here, years ago now, because these haven't been functioning for a long time. And this is a new development that has gone on. Not new, but enhanced development, cleaned up all the time. I'm going to bring you back out on the beach in a second. I just want to show you the community impact up here of what it is, because this community years ago was nothing like this here. Everyone here seems to be just taking a pride in where they are. This whole place has been enhanced. I will have to say that Brian Talma, kudos to you, my friend, in getting everyone on board in this area. And for all those that have joined, whether it was through you or not, kudos to all of you all, because the area is beautiful. This place used to look so dingy and down, and look at how it's being maintained now. Absolutely stunning. And I'm not just talking about the park, I'm talking about the surrounding areas, the actual neighborhood itself. Very popular picnic spot. Again, the Wi-Fi is enhanced that as well for people, because people come up here, as you know, everyone has a phone in their hand. You know, the other day we were at Crystal Waters, family and myself, and I'm not saying only them, because I had to include myself. Everyone had a phone in their hand. We were at a party spot, and everyone is on a phone. So, so it's just the way technology is. Everyone seems to have a phone in their hand now. So where you get Wi-Fi, you're going to get large crowds. This is a very, very popular picnic spot, as I said, though. Now, we've seen this drain away when we were last time down by the actual windsurfing shop itself. I just want to show you some of the enhancements. I came up here the other day, and this is a community effort. Huh? I came up here the other day, and I had this gentleman spoke to him. He said, I'm going to make around me beautiful. And that's exactly what they're doing. Plants are being planted all along this drainway. So it's going beyond the park now, and people are actually starting to beautify the whole area, coconut trees, etc. Now, we haven't been this way before. Well, I say that on this bridge. Last time I came here, I walked all around the place. I forgot about this bridge, but not anymore. I'm smarter than that now. Now, when the rain starts to really come down heavy, this whole area is going to clean up, and it's going to be a beautiful section. It's still beautiful right now. It's naturally beautiful. But when the rain comes down and this whole section gets cleared up, and this really fills up with water, it is spectacular. There's an outer bank that may burst later on in the year, which will drain it out. That's on the beach itself. But it all depends on sea conditions and stuff. Right now the sea is driving the sand up onto the beach and building the actual block itself. But I guess if you have some extremely heavy rains, it will wash it out. Brian, if you're on board, my brother, I come in your way. I'm going to be walking through your shop because I want to show everyone the community effort and where it all started. So you can get apartments up here for rent as well. I'll take you over here. Sorry to be walking all in the light this morning. It was unexpected. Thought we'd have a few more clouds, but if you're looking for this type of accommodation, it's just one of them here. Just beautiful. Absolutely lovely. This is a big change from what Silver Sands you see like in this immediate area, because this is a lot of little shadow homes and stuff. But people have obviously expanded. Some have sold, but some have expanded and been able to produce some much better properties than they used to have. Again, rentals all over. Now the windsurfing will be more concentrated in this general area now because of the windsurf shop above, which I'll show you in a few minutes time, the Waterman's Windsurf shop. However, you can see the whole area has been beautified. And again, national colours, which are so impressive. I mean, there's nothing more beautiful than the national colours to me. In the distance, you will see the board tree. It's the only one in the world. There is no other place in this world that bears boards instead of fruit. That is our board tree. Compliments of Mr. Talma himself, the action man. Now all of this scribing you're seeing here on this boat is done by Brian. He is an artist, not just an internationally known and respected windsurfer, but he's also an artist, and he's definitely a person that's very full, a conscious person, a person from the roots. And a lot of his work, if you were to stay and read it, he actually has his book, a book that he wrote, maybe a couple of books now, but one of them he has all around the outside the building. All the paragraphs are actually written on the building, all done with finger paint as well. This is his museum. Now I'm going to take you in here this morning. We haven't been in here before, but I'm going to take you in because I want you to see how conscious this man is. Everything you read is about nature and finding his glow and his shining light in nature. All to do with the beach, to do with the animals around the sea. It is just amazing. I actually have come here with my angel, and she spent a considerable bit of time just reading all of the scribes that he has around this place. It is beautiful. So he took this old fishing boat and turned it into a museum. He has all of his arts in here. There are conch shells all over the floor. There are little bits of windsurfing paraphernalia around. He has all of his original, his mum and his dad here, for those of you who want to know what the family looked like, mum and dad. And then he has his brother and some of his really good friends over the years. You know, Mark Holder, I see him there as well, awesome. So all of the guys that have been on the beach and been respected and hung around with Brian are all represented in here, as well as some of his shots from all of his surfing magazines and posters. International windsurfers I had mentioned. A lot of people forgot how much attention Brian brought to Barbados when Barbados was not really looked upon as being anything on the international stage where water sports was concerned. We did have some great surfers, but Brian for sure has brought a lot of attention to Barbados. So all along here, there's just little memorabilia about beautiful memories for him. I see heads, I see all the guys here as well. You know, this is like a walk down memory lane for me as well, because I knew all of these guys. I grew up with all these guys. I lived on this beach with all these guys in Silver Sands area and South Point. Just beautiful. I was mentioning just now about all of his books and stuff. This is where he scribes all of his chapters and things. You can come up here and you can actually read yourself around this building if you'd like. But beautiful. No one here right now, but he has his own restaurant. He also rents these accommodations here as well. If you're interested, you can rent one of the buildings here from him, or one of the rooms here from him. More of that you can find out on his own website, because he has his own Facebook up and Instagram, etc. But this is their bar, little restaurant and bar area. Now, it doesn't look that wonderful right now. We have to appreciate right now this is downtime. This is not the time you really get a lot of windsurfers. Most of the windsurfers are here like earlier on in the year. So right now it's going into summer where we don't get strong winds and don't usually get a lot of windsurfers. But if you want a day away, and remember here is not open, if you want a day away from the normal, you want to experience true beach culture, this is the man that created the World Beach Culture Tour. It is respected and known throughout the world. And this, he's trying to bring it back again now, the beach cricket, which is one, he and Roger Miller, trying to bring back the beach cricket league, another thing that has been forgotten from Barbados history. I see he has the entrance blocked off. So Brian, I'm trespassing today, my brother. You know you're going to give me permission for that anyhow. I know that already. And if you want to come and watch him perform his arts and craft, this is where he does it. Sitting right here, looking at this amazing view. Stunning. All right, we're just going to go on the beach and we're going to wrap up this for today. I hope you all have enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed walking through this rough and rustic area with me. However, you have seen what community efforts can bring. This place here was just nothing really, honestly. And everyone around here is just that become into one community, and they all get together. Each one sort of like flows off of each other, all the businesses in this general area. Another little look at the board tree. See that? Look at it. One of a kind in Barbados only, please. Absolutely lovely. Now you'll see how much sand would have to move here, or how much water or how much rain would have to fall for this here to get knocked out, this whole area here, this damming section. However, it does happen. So you all will know, because if it does happen, we will be here to watch it, because that is what we do. We go all around this island and we bring you the beauty of Barbados, and we bring you Barbados as it is, not Barbados as we want to paint an impression for you. We bring you it as it is. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's ugly, but that is how Barbados is. We're like anywhere else in the world, you know. Everything in Barbados doesn't glow or glitter, but everything in Barbados through this camera lens is going to be factual and actual. That's what this whole thing is based on for me. The journey for me has to be honesty and transparency right through. So if I tell you that this place here is good, unless something goes extremely wrong, you're going to agree with me. I'm going to paint the picture as it is. Morning. All right, we have some more properties here, Airbnb properties. We're going to stop this here at the top here, just going to get out of the sun a little bit so I don't blind you with all of the light. But before we do that, check who is saying good morning to you all, guys. I hope you all are happy about this, because I am not. I'm certainly not happy about this. I don't like to share my glory and my praise and my time with anyone, or my attention. I mean, I put up the EMC baby the other day, and everybody loves the EMC baby, including me. Let me tell you, that baby is so cute. I can't believe we actually have our own EMC baby. You know, I was going to put up some pictures, because I had pictures from day one, but I decided to wait until I had a little bit more as she started to grow and put them together. And her family sent some for me, as you all would have seen earlier on last week, and we put up your EMC baby. You know, that is our official EMC baby, and she will carry that title for as long as I'm alive, that's for sure. All right, we talked about this place, so I was going to end this early. I'm going to end it right here though, don't worry. I'm not going to go into too much more over time, but I want to talk to you about Silver Rock. Another amazing resort. Don't know what happened here either. Had its own windsurf shop. Was very, very popular again with visitors, and also locals used to come here for any of their staycations, this was a very, very popular spot. Unfortunately, there's another place in disrepair. So I will end today in a little bit of controversy, which is something I don't do. So, but it's not controversy, it's a little stimulation of thought. Why are we building new hotel plants in new areas that are not based for hotels, and have all of these amazing areas and structures that could be brought down and brought back up again? We have too many of them on the island that are sitting doing nothing. I think that these are the ones we should be concentrating on rebuilding, or getting people's interest in rebuilding. The ones that have gone down, ones that are just left behind to rot and corrode. You've seen two beautiful properties this morning. Maybe these should be offered before we offer new areas in Barbados. Just my opinion. It is not to create any discussion really, it's just my opinion. And I think that we have too much wasteland here in the island to be going to use other land before we take care of this one first. That's my plug for this morning. I hope you all enjoyed this walk with me. I have had an amazing time. It has been a walk down memory lane for me. It has been a little bit saddening for me on some occasions, but then again, my smiles have overshadowed them, because I remember how fortunate and blessed I have been to being raised in areas when these were in their absolute prime, because these places were magnificent. So anyhow, everyone, I hope you all have an amazing day. As I said, I hope you've enjoyed your little walk with me this morning. Our crew, which is our, I better call her our driver separately, because she's a crazy driver, who is also a part of our care team. Our Munchkins and our Hall of Famers, and each and every one of the EMC members have created what this morning has been. If you felt peace and serenity and love and care and kindness, that has been created by each and every one of you that has been here. Anyone that has come on this morning, just said good morning, has created a beautiful morning for us. So I thank you all for being here. I hope you all have an amazing day. And I hope that the blessings, all the blessings come your way today, and that this Friday is an incredible Friday for you. It's a weekend, people, but that doesn't mean to get silly. It means to have a good time. So just be careful, exercise your caution, etc. For those that ask why I didn't send a Q video last night, in case you did query, it's because when I went to Q last night, it was all in an enclosed area and too many masks were not being worn. And it didn't feel that great, so I didn't stay too long. So that is the reason why you didn't broadcast on there last night. It was just too many people in an area that was indoors, not really comfortable for me. Everyone have a great day. Love you all. To each and every one of you, I'm sending my love and my best wishes from Barbados. All my prayers, all of my positive light is being directed towards you this morning, because you know why? God has blessed me with so much, I have to share it. Have a great day. See you all later.